I'm maintaining my weight now since September. We're now in the main gaining or lean bulking phase, so I will eat a little bit more. Also, I'm going to share all of the food today, what I'm eating. We're gonna have today like a high volume push day. We are going on a walk on the walking pad because outside it's really cold in Germany, and we are going to switch things up a little bit. I'm in the kitchen, we have my black coffee in front of me. We're gonna see how this will turn out. It's the first time that I'm making like a behind the scenes video, so let me know in the comments down below what you think about this format. The most important part about losing weight and also about building muscle and getting into the best shape of your life is building routines. They need to be consistent routines that you can follow on a day-to-day basis. So we are going through my entire daily routine today. Let's cut to the walking pad. Here's basically where I spend a little bit of my morning time. Always in the morning after I'm waking up, the first thing that I basically do is drinking my coffee. And then as soon as I have that done, I'm trying to get my steps in. Sometimes I'm waking up a little earlier just to be able to walk. I'm gonna keep up the streak. I don't know if you guys can see this, but I'm basically today on day 325 in a row of walking at least 10,000 steps. Now that we are entering in phase number 2, I'm going to ramp it up a little bit. Instead of 10,000 steps, doing 15,000 steps, but I'm eating a little bit more because I want to reset my metabolism a tiny bit so that I get out of the permanent deficit. And we are going to lean bulk for the first time in my life so that I can exercise harder again and that I finally grow my muscles. I still look like I don't really lift if I have a shirt on. And I promise you, I got a lot stronger already. Last year I was at 0 pull-ups and then I got all the way to 14 in a small challenge inside of our private community. That was really fun. Let's go! Walking, the best thing you can do for your health. See you at the pre-workout. So I just finished the steps. We are now ready for the workout. In total we made 15.2k steps. This burned roughly 450 calories in this case. Absolutely amazing. I really love walking and now I'm full of energy to actually get my push day in. First, what we're gonna do is having a pre-workout. Yes, we're gonna do that. Normally I'm not a fan of actually eating before exercising, and I'm also, because of that, always walking on a fasted stomach. But recently I figured I'm not growing as much as I want to. Like, I'm getting stronger, but mostly because I was actually losing a lot of weight, so I can do like a lot of more push-ups and pull-ups and stuff. But I have a feeling I'm stagnating and I am not growing in size, so I'm kinda not building muscle as much as I want to. People say, yeah, it just takes time to build muscles, but I was making some research, and you know, when you are in a calorie deficit for too long and you are pushing on your body a lot of exercises, you're basically just sacrificing your amino acids in the muscles. It is a really interesting topic. So I decided now I'm making a different approach here, and I'm going to incorporate, even though I don't like it, a pre-workout. And today we're gonna have a cup of coffee. This one is just black coffee. And I'm going to add into here 10 grams of honey. In this case, I'm just gonna use the one that I have here at home. It's like flowery, honey, creamy. And we're gonna measure this stuff. And also what I'm gonna eat is 40 grams of dates. A really easy to eat meal, let's say. It's not gonna be this big, huge pre-workouts that some people do. I'm not ready for that yet, but maybe in the future I'm gonna change things up. So basically I'm just trying my best to always improve my routines. I have these things that are already working, and pre-workout was never a part of it, so I'm relatively new to this. I recommend that you are actually measuring everything. So when you are using honey, has like 300 calories on 100 grams. Don't underestimate that. One spoonful of honey, depending on the size of the spoon, can easily exceed like 150 calories. And the same with dates. I used to eat these ones in my oatmeal and I put like 100 grams of dates into my oatmeal. Kind of ridiculous once you are figuring out that these things are so dense in calories and you can just eat a lot of them in like one bite, right? So basically anything you're eating, just make sure you are going to calculate it. And in this case, like we said, we're gonna do just 40 grams. And I'm gonna show you that 40 grams sounds a lot, but actually it is just about a handful of dried fruits. A little bit of honey in the coffee as a pre-workout. With the fruits we are at 160 calories. Just getting a little bit of the carbs in to hopefully boost my metabolism to be able to get through the workout without sacrificing my muscles. It's kind of counterintuitive in my opinion, but we are still learning a lot of stuff. And you know, these dates, they are so tasty. Usually, when you are eating stuff that you love, you can just overeat so many calories. That's why you always need to be careful. I'm gonna get these dates in the coffee with the honey in, and I'm gonna see you in the workout. What's the plan for today's workout? I was thinking about a high volume push day where we are going to do like easier variations of push-ups. I figured in the moment I was doing stuff like handstands and more advanced things that my joints are not quite there yet. And these high volume days, I'm using lower exercises like incline push-ups to basically just get a feel for our joints so that they are slowly getting where we want them to be. In the future, hopefully the entire pain will be gone. And the first exercise we are going to do today is the incline push-ups. And we are trying to achieve 50 reps in total. And if you can do 50 reps in one go, then that's perfectly fine. If you can do only like 20 of them, for example, then that is okay too. Do 20 at a time. And then once you are at 50 in the actual exercise, we're gonna go to the next exercise. So let's get started with the incline push-ups. And as I said, if you are a complete beginner and you are new to exercises, it's always a good idea to just get your joints warmed up and to actually get them to the level that your actual strength level already is, because otherwise you will end up getting yourself into trouble and you will hurt yourself. Also, always make sure, not like me to talk, but to actually breathe. Breathing is very important, guys. And once you notice that maybe your joints start hurting, don't pressure yourself into doing all of the reps like in one go, even if you have the strength. The problem is gonna be in the moment you are fatiguing your joints way too much in the beginning, it's gonna hurt you in the next exercises, and we don't want to be injured. We want to progressively strengthen our joints. And that is the goal here, guys. I think this was like 30 reps. I'm gonna do another 20. Then we're gonna jump into the next exercise. Then we're gonna do regular push-ups. And we're gonna slowly build up to 150 reps of all of those 3 exercises. So let's get going. All right, I finished the first 50 reps of the incline push-ups. When you are a beginner, don't try to force yourself into regular push-ups or diamond push-ups or anything. You can start with the basics, and these ones are going to be super effective just because we are doing super lots of them. We are pushing for very high volume for a purpose. We are strengthening our joints and we are getting into the training. And so what I'm going to do now is continue with the actual incline dips. And those ones, like the actual push-ups, they are relatively easy. Just take like a couch or anything that is a little bit higher surfaced, and then you're just gonna do the dip motion. And like I said, we're gonna do also aim for 50 reps of these ones. We're gonna finish this up and then we're gonna get into the regular push-ups. I'm really hyped for this, and maybe you did join already in on the fun. If you didn't, get yourself moving. This is super exciting and you're gonna not regret it when you are starting with these basic exercises. The most beginner things, they can be super exciting and super effective. So I see you after the next round. So the next exercise is regular push-ups. We're gonna again do 50 of them, but it doesn't need to be in one go. We do however many we actually can to get our joints ready. And we are basically repeating what we did before. We are trying to do them with as good form as we actually can. We are not forcing anything. We are just doing them as many as we can in one round. Oh, the microphone is kind of slapping the ground. I'm gonna have to figure out how to record this without breaking the microphone. So I'm gonna finish up the training and I see you at the post-workout meal. This is gonna be a blast. I'm really hungry already. I just finished the workout and I said we're gonna meet in the kitchen for the post-workout meal, but if I want to actually do a proper job at documenting the whole maintaining or main gaining progress, then I need to obviously show a little bit of progress too. This is my current physique. I'm gonna try to just show it in the camera as good as possible. The light in this room is not optimal, but I hope that over the next months we at least can see some form of progress. And I'm really excited about this. This is the first time that I'm not scared of overeating calories. I'm for the first time bulking, and we are going to actually see if this gonna work out the way I want it to. And just when things happen and we gain a lot more fat than I'm expecting to, we're just gonna lean down a little bit, repeat the process. At this point, I really want to show you something, guys. I have like a super inflamed belly here in the lower part of my stomach. I do not know if you actually can see that. Like, I'm relatively lean here. You can see all of the muscles and stuff coming out. But for some reason, my stomach is always inflamed. And I think that this is from year-long yo-yo dieting and just eating stuff that was not proper for my body. So this is my next goal. I'm gonna go on this lean bulk, not only for growing a little bit in mass, but also to try and heal my gut. So basically, I'm gonna get out of the caloric deficit, give my body a little bit of time to heal. I'm a hungry boy, so we're gonna go to the kitchen and we're gonna have a massive feast of protein and fruit. A lot of protein and fruit. We're going to make a huge quark bowl. If you don't know what's quark, apparently that's not a thing in a lot of countries. It's basically like skyr. It has a very identical profile in macronutrients. We will have around 60 grams of pure protein just from the quark alone. We're gonna also add some oats, a lot of frozen fruits here that I'm gonna chop up in a moment. We will add some protein powder to get even more protein in, and we're gonna add some raw honey on top of that. If you are using cocoa powder, then make sure you are mixing it before you are actually putting anything else that's like liquid, so that you are avoiding clumping. Now for the fun part, let's chop this stuff up here, make it into tiny pieces. Look at how juicy this one looks. This is absolute amazing. It's a dream of macronutrients too. I'm gonna show you exactly what is inside of this one. We're having 140 grams of carbs, 12 grams of fat, and in total 101 grams of protein in a single bowl of food. This one also comes with 1100 calories. Everything for the lean bulk. This is the first meal of the day after our pre-workout, setting us to about 1300 calories approximate until now. I'm gonna eat this and we're gonna see each other after I finish this. It is time to prepare meal number 2 of today. I'm gonna show you when the stuff is ready. As a small side note, clean your rice before you are cooking it up. There's a lot of stuff inside of here that you don't wanna consume. Meal number 2 of the day is ready. We have here chicken breast, some rice, as well as carrots, and I added sauerkraut, and I topped it off with a little bit of hot sauce. This one, I just purchased it on Amazon, and it's by far the best hot sauce I ever had in my life. It's called Valentina Muy Picante with like a black weird logo thing. It was like 10 bucks. Super insanely tasty. It's not as spicy as I would have wanted it to be, but that being said, it's very good. So if you like hot sauce, give this one a try. I have here in front of me quick overview of the macros. 91 grams of carbs, 64 grams of protein, and 11 grams of fat. I added a little bit of ghee into the pan to basically just make the chicken so that it's not as dry. This one comes to 721 calories, this pot. And I have to say, I usually am not a fan of sauerkraut. Like, I like kimchi, but sauerkraut, I've never been a fan of it. And just recently I was having this plan of fixing my gut or at least improving my gut health. Like I leaned down a lot, but I'm still having an inflamed gut for some reason. I still have a lot of bloating and problems with that. And there is a thing with the sauerkraut that apparently it should help you getting your gut into check, as well as like yogurt and things like that, right? So I gave it a test and I went to the store and then I forgot the sauerkraut. So I went to the store again the next day, and you know what happened? Sauerkraut was an offer. It was like reduced by 70 cents or something like that per pot. And these pots apparently were the best brand in the store that you can get. No additives, no added sugar, no anything. It's basically just the cabbage and a little bit of salt. And then it's fermented in like a wooden pot, okay? And this one, usually I do not like sauerkraut and I actually run away by just smelling it. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm like on the verge of puking by just smelling it, okay? But this sauerkraut, I had a feeling it was an offer, it was a sign, something told me you need to buy this to fix your gut. You had the plan, there it is an offer, so take it. What did I do? Obviously, I took the sign, I purchased the entire stock of the store. I bought like 11 of those glasses. Now they have nothing left. And I'm here sitting with sauerkraut that, to my surprise, I can sniff it without puking. It tastes really good. And I do hope that it fixes my gut, or at least helps my gut health over a prolonged time of eating it. So that's my story with the sauerkraut. If you are not a fan of food, sometimes it just takes a different brand. Give it another chance, and maybe you're gonna be surprised with not only with the food, but with a lot of other stuff in life too, right? So that being said, I'm gonna eat my pot of protein, letting my muscles grow a little bit more. Meanwhile, I'm doing that. I'm gonna edit a little bit of video footage and get to work. And also I will check out inside of our private community what you guys have been posting there. So that's gonna be very interesting. At this point, thank you so much for all of the support, and we're gonna have one more meal after I finish my work. I just finished up our last meal of today. We're having here 100 grams of sourdough and 5 eggs in total. I just recently learned after buying it that this is not actual sourdough bread. I've been fooled. In some countries, like in the USA, in some stores, also in the UK, you have like real sourdough bread. But apparently in Germany, most of them still use yeast, and they are putting a label on it and says like 100% real sourdough, and you make like some research about it, and the yeast is basically speeding up the process, destroying the entire purpose of the sourdough bread. And that is the reason why I'm making an experiment, and I'm going to make my own sourdough from now on. This is the very first time that I'm trying this, and I'm getting into sourdough bread baking. It's kind of simple on paper, but you need to feed your mini offspring here. You need to let it grow, then you need to feed it again, and so on and so on. We're gonna see how this will turn out. It's very exciting. I'm gonna add some hot sauce on this. In total, we are having here in the dinner, let's see, the 5 eggs is 31 grams of protein, plus the protein of the bread. We are at almost 40 grams of protein. We have another 45 grams of carbs in this meal, and just about 27 grams of fats, giving us a total of 700 calories in this single meal here. I'm gonna, as I said, add some hot sauce, but this one has only like 30 calories on 100, so that is not a problem. I'm not gonna count this, I don't add that much. We're gonna snack this, and that leads us to the total calorie count and macros of the entire day. I've been consuming 2,600 calories. We have in total 51 grams of fat for the day, a little bit over 310 grams of carbs, and we have 205 grams of protein for the lean bulking gains. I'm really excited about this, and I do hope that all of this will work out. Sourdough bread, by the way, even if this one is fake from the supermarket, it's extremely tasty, and the actual sourdough bread is promising to actually help healing the gut. So all of the things that I've been eating today have been because I'm like trying to get my gut into a healthy environment and to just feed the bacteria in the gut to be like better nutrient absorbent and stuff. Let's add some hot sauce and let's get right into this. Oh, I'm really excited about getting to eat all of this food. It's rather late already. People usually recommend not eating so late, but you know, guys, you really need to try a hot sauce on top of your bread. Today was very exciting, recording all of the footage, getting a little bit out of the comfort zone, doing something out of the normal. Thank you so much for watching, and I see you in the next video.